In today's video, I'm going to be covering all the basics, including how to draw different species, their anatomy, their feet, their hands, everything from A to Z you will learn in today's video. So if you enjoyed it, don't hesitate to like and subscribe. Let's get into it!
We love casting spells.
In today's stream, I'm going to be showing you how to go from this to that! So, let's just get in a circle here real quick. I always like to do a 3/4 test run of it. Personally, I think that if you draw a character in 3/4, so it shows you just enough depth to get most of their features in, so you can kind of understand how they work three-dimensionally. Step 1, start with the line like you're drawing any normal character, but instead of extending this line down and adding in a jaw like that, to make it into a human, it's not a human. Now, I usually like to start off with the eyes first, so let's get the eyes in here. You can do the eyes any way you'd like. You can draw them perfect circles. That strokes my longest. Anyways, I'm just going to draw my generic kind of eyeball shape that I use for pretty much all my characters, because it is an eyeball shape that I personally really like. In everyone's skull, you have a bridge. You have a bridge between your nose, so, your eyeballs get pushed out. They're not like Sonic the Hedgehog being forced together in some unnatural way that makes no sense. No sense. I don't understand how Sonic's anatomy works. Anyways, how I like to do it is kind of like a round triangle going from, like, the two tear ducts of the eyeballs, and you round it out just like that, so it still kind of follows along the ball shape that you have right there. This is where your muzzle is going to be. Have you ever seen Sonic X? Yes. Sonic X. Nah, I'm joking. Of course I've watched Sonic X. While we're still just working on the ball, this is where the snout is going to start. Actually, this same shape can be applied to human faces. Human faces kind of look like the Bloons Tower Defense monkey. So, if you're ever drawing in a human's face, you can always draw them in with the monkey method. I'm looking at it, it kind of looks like a wiener. Twitch, I didn't draw wieners. You're gonna have to decide which way is your character facing. I'm gonna make them regret ever existing. So I'm gonna kind of make them stare off into space, just like this. And now for the eyebrows. Eyebrows are really, really, really easy to draw. All you have to do, really, is, it's kind of like a hockey puck shape. Not a hockey puck, a hockey stick shape. Now, speaking of the snout, your first move might be to, like, start drawing it in like this, and then drawing in their nose. No, that's flat! Wrong! Wrong! You're wrong! You gotta remember, it's pointing somewhere. How I usually do it is, you can either do it by the method of pretty much just elongating, still kind of going forward like that, and then going down there like that, connecting all your lines like that. You can already tell that it's a three-dimensional shape. Remember, if it ever looks weird, you can always flip your canvas. Press H on Magma, M on Krita, and I don't know any other programs because I don't use any other program. So for the nose, all you're gonna want to do is kind of just draw on that rounded triangle. Now, you don't want to draw it too large, unless that's what you're into, weirdo. Now we have to worry about the mouth. So how you can do that is you can either just draw in like two circles like this, or just kind of cut this in half like so. Make it kind of look like Freddy Fazbear. And just kind of curve it out, two little C shapes, and have it follow along the direction of these lines that you put in right here. And, I feel like this guy needs some eye bags, so, I'm just gonna do a little C shape right there. And for the sides of the head, you wouldn't believe this, but, like, the jawbone exists. So, if you're drawing in the jawbone, I usually like to just draw in two circles. And remember, kind of keep them nice and even. So, if one circle goes one way, you gotta keep it even going the other way. So, going like ba-ba-ba-ba-do. Adding in little tiny triangles for the fur. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Alright. Make adjustments where you'd like to. For instance, I'm gonna make an adjustment like that. I don't remember if I did that. Now that you have the face down how you like it, you gotta think about where the ears are gonna go. The ears usually go on like the sides of the head, so what I like to do is drawn two little circles just like that. Usually the style that I find most appealing is like C shape, C shape. Yeah, you can make the ears look however the fuck you want. Make sure to pull up reference, by the way. Did you guys know that every time you use a reference, your dick grows bigger? Flip yo canvas. I don't really know what animal I'm going for here. I probably should have thought of that before I started. I'll just go with a dog. So like if I'm drawing in a dog, like what the dog doing? All right, now that you have that, for some reason a lot of furries have like hair, just like that, and then you know, just draw, and then you can draw 2 little lines for the neck here. Maybe have like some veins. Fuck, I just drew. Let's restart. Editor, please take the reins for me. The fuck is a kitsune? What the fuck is a kitsune? Well, just call it a fucking fox then, Melon! Melon! We're getting off topic today, boys. Anyways, where the fuck was I going with this? I genuinely suck at making tutorials because like how I draw is, guys, I'm gonna let you guys in on a little tiny dirty little secret on how I draw. I'm not thinking like, oh, I have to draw it this way. I kind of just draw shit to pinpoint my shit, then I just start drawing, dude. Furries usually have 2 types of legs. Oh, hold up, the song fucking slaps. Give me a second.
Gonna paint a wagon, gonna paint it good. We ain't bragging, we're gonna coat that wood.
But it's a fucking banger, dude. If you want to make some expressions, the easiest way to do so is take what you've just drawn and start giving your character, you know, emotions. So maybe I want to draw this guy be super, super happy. How would I do that? Well, let's erase the eyes here. Close the eyelids, and then we're just going to kind of duplicate that on the other side. If it doesn't look right, you can always go back and adjust it. I'm going to open up their mouth to really give them a nice, happy expression. I like to start with the top here, and depending on the angle, I like to imagine it as a rectangle. All I'm going to do is draw a line down to where I think that the mouth should be open. I got to open up StreamerBot. Kind of following the same direction down from how the mouth was. Just following that same direction down. Boop, boop. So like boop. That is where the mouth is going to be open. Now with a nice C shape just like that, we are going to kind of connect where the smile is right here, the nice big smile, keeping that exact same shape, not inversing it, keeping that exact same shape. All we're going to do is just imagine where it's connecting from right here, right? So he's a nice happy boy. For instance, I'm imagining that their chin is very pointed. So I'm going to kind of exaggerate that point. Draw a line over on this side right here. Always remember to zoom out and flip, zoom in and flip, because this can help you. So if something doesn't look right, for instance, I'm noticing that the point was just a little off. It was just a little off. Same thing with up here, and kind of shade that in if you want to make it look a little more three-dimensional. I usually like to cheat this by just drawing in a nice little triangle and a line. Same thing on this side, nice little triangle and a line to kind of connect the two. And then down there just like that, remembering that it is a three-dimensional shape. Now I usually draw in the tongue, drawing in the tongue, filling in that area just to kind of cheat the brain into thinking that it's a lot more polished. And now you can start exaggerating the facial features. So right here where the mouth is going up, just drawing a nice little semicircle underneath the eyes and a nice little semicircle right there, and kind of imagine it pushing up against the face. Now to make them even happier, what you can do is you can take the eyebrows and angle them, and just like that you got a happy face. Blocks the tricky area, but how are you going to get better at drawing the tricky area if you don't try? And that's what I'm going to leave you off with today. Just experiment with your art, see what works, see what doesn't, keep drawing every day, keep these tips in mind, and remember, your art is good, but it can always be better. It's little John EJ, signing off. See you later, gamers.